name's Hershel Dennis from Long Beach, California, head coach for Life Christian Academy in Tacoma, Washington. I have 4 beautiful children, Zion, Zaire, Ezekiel, and baby Sage. And I'm here, man, just giving the game away, man, trying to give the game so they could create a new lane. My mother, man, Mama Rose, she had the biggest impact on my life. Everything of a man that I am today is a big part of my mother, Mama Rose. That's why I had to put her. She wouldn't let me get no other tattoo. But when she seen this one, and this was my first one, she let all the other ones slide. Mama Rose was mean, man. She was mean, but she was loving. And then she would be, you know, she'll whoop my butt, but my skin was tough because of how, you know what I'm saying, how she raised me. And what she did for me, she never said no. She never said no. Like, anytime with any of my family members, she always, like, we had a little 2-bedroom apartment, but we'll have like 8, 9, 10 people living in there at, you know, at any time, because she never said no to anybody. So she showed me just how to be compassionate and caring and be there for family. I used to buy her groceries all the time, right? I buy her groceries while I was in college, hook her fridge, come back, and she'd still be asking me for some money, right? I'm like, Mom, it's like, yeah, I'm like, what you, I just hooked you up. But she done gave away all her food. She done gave away her food. And I'm like, man, you can't be doing. She said, hey, don't worry. Just give me that money. God's gonna take care of it. Don't, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how she was. And then when I realized, like, oh, that's just her heart. So I think what I took from her the most, man, was just how to have a loving heart and just be caring and just be there for your peoples without, you know, looking for anything back. Football, for me at the high school level, I started every game until my senior year, and we won 3 CIF championships. You know, it was just, my high school career was great. It was great because that's all I focused on during the season. That's all I focused on in the off season. That's all I did with my free time was do something I just poured into myself. There was no other distraction. So the reason my high school career was so great was because I put my all into everything that I did about it. I've always been a Pac-10 fan, you know. And I was a big fan of Washington, USC. I was just a Pac-10 guy, you know. I'm from the West Coast, so I wanted to, you know, represent my area, my section in football. You know, I always like felt strongly about that. So when it came down to it, I already had my 4. I mean, I was getting recruited from Alabama, Arkansas, all over, in Florida, but I already narrowed it down. I wouldn't even speak with them. I was just like, I'm either going to Oregon, Washington, SC, or UCLA. You know, I chose USC because if I didn't, my mama was gonna disown me. I remember because I took all my trips, right? And UCLA was just too nice. Man, Washington, it was cool. They had some, you know, I liked the fellas that was on the team. Everybody was straight. But what I didn't like was the weather. It was too gray and rainy. I took my trip to SC, and it was just right. You know what I mean? We was in the hood. We had guys on the team, they were gang bangers, you know what I'm saying? We had Bloods and Crips. I was like, this is home, you know what I mean? So I go to Oregon, and Oregon blows me away. Oregon, you know, this is at the height of Oregon, like when they started getting all them new uniforms, and I sat down with the offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, and man, that offense that they were running, it was just crazy. I left that trip. I called Pete. I said, hey, Pete, I'm sorry, man, I'm going to Oregon. You know, Pete's like, whoa, wait a minute, Hershel, wait, hold on now, wait. But I was sold on going to Oregon. I'm like, man, like, I love y'all brothers, man, but there's just something different, you know, I want to go be a part of. Like, I like this offense. I wanted to go play in that offense. So it wasn't until I told my moms, you know, I told Mama, hey, Mama, you know, I'm all excited. You know, I'm the first kid in our family to go to college. I tell her I'm going to Oregon, and she's like, oh, no, baby. No, baby. You could grow up in your own backyard. You know, she sounded just like Pete Carroll. That was a Pete Carroll line. That's what he was telling me. So then I go to sleep. This is 3 days before signing day. Wake up. Mom's over me again. She crying. Baby, no, you just stay here. You know, you can grow up in your own backyard. I'm like, Mom, what's going on? Like, no, man, I'm going to Oregon. Man, I'm going to college. I'm doing what you wanted. All right, signing day comes. And now, you know, I'm set. Wake me up again. Now she crying. She crying. And, you know, this day, it's a stressful day. You know, I got to sign my letter of intent. You know, I want support and love around me. Mom's waking me up. She like, no, baby, you know, don't go, don't leave. You could grow up in your own backyard. You don't have to go all the way out there, you know. I'm like, then I'm frustrated now. You know, I'm like, Mom, leave me alone, okay? It's like, I'm doing like, don't you want me to go to college? Like, I'm doing that. Why you like giving me a hard time about where I'm going? Like, what's? And she looked at me, she's like, well, F you then. You're not my son. You go, get out, you know? I'm like, now I'm stressed now, you know? Now I don't know what to do. Now I'm like, hey, my mama gonna disown me? You know, she said I ain't her son no more, you know? So we get to the signing. Yeah, they get down to me, I read the paper, and I'm like, I just signed University of Southern California. You know, I just signed it because Mom's in the crowd crying. And I just can't wait to like announce it. It's just so she could stop crying, you know? So then I grab the mic, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go to, I decided to go to University of Southern California. And she, oh, baby, you know, Mom, and then that smile and that like, that joyful reaction, like it was where I was like, all right, yeah, that's why you want me to go. But then I realizing, you know, like that, me making that decision, it like, my mom was dealing with breast cancer at the time, you know, not even knowing, dealing with just bad health conditions, but we wouldn't even know because she never told us, you know, or never told me. You know, you couldn't never tell. So me making that decision was like a life span for her. Like it brought her life, you know, because she was able to come to practice every day. She was at every game. Everybody knew her, you know, and she just made it. She was proud, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. My career at USC, I played my freshman year, and then I earned the starting job my sophomore year in 2003. Won a Rose Bowl that year. 2004, I got into an incident that got me suspended. We won the national championship that year. That's when I tore my knee for the first time. Sat out in the 05 year, and then coming back to 06. Coming back to the 06 year, I was going to be the starting running back again. But during spring ball, I took a trip to Hawaii and pulled my hamstring during a beach workout, racing against Steve Smith, one of our receivers, and then tore my hamstring and came back to spring camp and had to tell Pete Carroll that I couldn't run. So I should have been out that whole spring ball, but you know, there was no running backs at the time. So after 2 weeks, I came back and did a running play because Pete was like, hey man, you know, just can you give us a look? I was like, yeah man, you know, I'm not the type of guy that sits out a practice or unless it's like I can't move or can't run or something's broke, you know. Came back that practice, ran the ball, did a good run, came back next play, turned upfield, see a linebacker coming from my right side. I try to plant my left foot, boom, and cut back to the right, and then tear my ACL again. So I tore it for a second time. So now I got a petition for a 6-year spring ball. After my second knee surgery, I earned the starting position. I come into summer camp as the starter. The first week, right before we played Nebraska, I'm doing one-on-ones with Brian Cushion, and I block him, and then I plant my left foot again, and my knee, boom, buckles, swells up on me. I can't bend my leg. So now I'm out for the whole first week. I can't even play the Nebraska game. When you asked about my SC career, something just kept happening to me that kind of stopped me or just like slowed me down. And then every time I would like come back from it, you know, I'll come back and things would be great, and then something would happen again. So like my whole college career at SC was just like just years of adversity. While I was there, I was part of 2 national championship teams, 4 Rose Bowls, 2 Orange Bowls, won 5 out of those 6 bowl games, graduated with a sociology degree. And those amount of years that I was there, became one of the most winningest college football players in history. The adversity that I faced, how I dealt with it back then, wasn't the right ways. You know, I was partying, drinking, females, and just anything that like made me happy instantly. But I had to go through it that way and realize like, oh, that's not how you do it. You know, it wasn't working. And I think being able to finally reach a point and look back like, oh, okay, that wasn't the best way. Oh man, I should have done this or should have done that. Just being able to still have sense to look back and understand those things, right? I think that's the reason why I dealt with the adversity that I dealt with. Gridiron, Sports Performance, and my brother DQ, like that whole combination of beautiful things means a lot to me. Gridiron is something that, you know, me and DQ talked about a lot before he even started Gridiron. You know, it's something that we were always going back and forth with and talking about stuff like what we wanted to do for the youth and just what we wanted to do to like make a difference. We've been talking about this years before it even came about. In 2017, he was telling me like, man, I want to start an organization. I want to do my own thing and like just train. He just wanted to train linemen. You know, he just wanted to train them, and then he did that. He had his own clients, and he's like, man, I feel like I want to do something bigger. And you know, I would share with him some of the things that I was thinking about doing. Man, we can take these kids on college tours. We can prepare them for the adversity that they're gonna face through their athletic journey. Like, so, you know, we don't let the adversity like stop them or shortcome them for their dreams, you know, because that's what we didn't have. We didn't have, you know, our DQ he had me. You know, when he was dealing with his stuff, like he had somebody that went through it and was able to, you know, confide in him and talk to him. And, you know, when he was dealing with his injuries or he dealt with his suspension, like I dealt with all of that stuff. So to have somebody that been through it, you know, especially that you're close to and that you trust, is huge, you know, because then you know, like, oh, okay, like you could take that advice. So he would hit me up all the time, like, man, come on, man, you gotta move out here, come stay with me. And, you know, I was taking care of my mother at the time, and I was just like, man, I don't want to live in Washington. When my mom's passed, he just started this, and he had the first JPS All-Star team, and he wanted me to come out. I mean, I think I told him months before, like probably six or 7 months before, where I was like, yeah, man, I'll be out there. But I think it was like right around December, right before the game, probably about 2 or 3 weeks before the game, I just pop up at his doorstep with all my stuff in the car. Like, hey, I'm here, you know, man. What he's been able to do, you know, just welcome me into his home and being there, like especially during a time where, you know, I was in a dark place with losing my moms, and to have family members, man, and brothers there for you to help you build your foundation, get you back on your feet, help you get closer and connected to God, you know, and strengthen your faith. Like, he's been able to do all that for me. You know, I love that brother for that. And waking me up every morning and going into the Bible and praying and just having conversations, like, you know, just how we have conversations, it just strengthened my faith. And literally everything that I was praying for within 5 months, I had. You know, I prayed to be walking in my purpose. You know, I prayed to have all of my kids under one roof. I prayed to be making a difference, you know, and within those 5 months, I was walking in my purpose. I got a head coaching job, all 4 of my kids under one roof. Within the 5 months, you know, I was helping him with Gridiron and being in front of young athletes and young people every day, just pouring into them and sharing my stories and my knowledge and my game and just, pouring into them, helping them walk their path. So I'm provided, and God blessed me with everything that I need to make means to, do what I love to do. So, so when you ask me what is Gridiron and DQ and the whole organization, what that means to me, it means everything to me. Man, my goals are to continue to make a difference in young student athletes' lives and anybody that I come around's life. I want to take my coaching to wherever I could take it, to a high level, I want to one day be coaching on the college level, possibly be coaching in the league. I want to build a home for my family, and I want to continue to help grow Gridiron and to connect young people to God, man, and share what I do and how he's helped me in my life with them, and let them know how God could help them. So that's what I got planned for my future.